Hi, 𝐬𝐞𝐕𝐄 here, Leaders with Influence and Public Speakers on Purpose. So today's experience is a really interesting one. So between the age of, say, 4 and 8, when my mum was a single mum with just myself and my brother, I could never work out why mum was not at home much at night times, and it was a really interesting thing because the world never used to make sense, and it sometimes doesn't at that age. And it's only sort of as you get older and you start unpacking these things and you spend a month like I have this month trying to understand these experiences that I realised how hard it was as a single mum. So mum was a teacher, though the teaching wage didn't cover the rent and her food for 2 boys. And so she went out selling encyclopedias at night time. Remember the old Encyclopedia Britannicas? Would you believe my mum went door to door selling them things? And she even talks about now being really hard work and character building. Imagine how many knockbacks. So she stands at the door, knock, knock, would you like to buy these encyclopedias? And I'm guessing that we haven't changed our attitude towards salespeople over the last 30 or 40 years since I was a kid. Because I know as a salesperson now how people respond sometimes when I say, knock, knock, hi, do you want to buy my stuff? And so, I look back on that and I was just grateful that I had a mum that would do whatever it took. Grateful that she found someone eventually who loved her for who she was, and they've since been married ever since I was 8 years old. And grateful that my brother and I went through that experience together, because even as kids we sort of bonded and we are close to this day. So there's a whole lot of good stuff come out of that, even though I'm grateful that I didn't grow up or wasn't having to do that sort of thing as a worker and as a parent. I was able to support my wife and my kids, and my wife, who's also she works. So between the two of us, we were equally supportive of our family, and I'm just so glad that I didn't have to financially go out and do something like my mum had to do, and she suffered. She suffered, and so did we, because some of the babysitters were average. I hope they're not listening to this. I hope they're not on LinkedIn. See you tomorrow.